What's going on YouTube? Nick the Barber here, and today I'm bringing you another review on a Supreme Trimmer product. If you guys recall, in the last video I said the Supreme Trimmer is the brand that made me want to get into making reviews because not a lot of people are talking about them. So this is just a continuation of that series. I'm going to start talking about Supreme Trimmer and all their products and tell you what I think, tell you if I believe they're beginner friendly or if professionals who've been in the game long enough, like years, should use them. And I'm gonna rank them on a point system. In the last video we had a point system of 25 points. In this video, moving forward, we're gonna add another category. We're gonna add the packaging category. So the way we rank things is 1 out of 5. And so the max total points that any product can get is 30 if it's a perfect score. So the trimmer that we're going to be talking about today is the 2-speed trimmer by Supreme Trimmer. Getting into it, we're going to start with the battery life. It's got 3-hour runtime, so out of 5 we're going to rank it 4 out of 5. If you recall in the last video, I said that the way a product can get a perfect score in battery life is if it has at least 4 hours. So if it has 4 hours of runtime or higher, then it's going to get a perfect score, 5 out of 5. So like I said, this trimmer gets a 4 out of 5. It has 2 speeds, so I want to say the 3-hour runtime is probably for the first speed of 6,000 RPMs. Probably gets a little less when you have it on speed 2, which is 7,000 RPMs. But you can see it's got a little LCD display, and it tells you what speed you're on, and it also tells you how much battery percentage you have. So I really like it when my tools tell me exactly how much battery I have, because then I know when I need to put it on the charge. I noticed that when I use tools like this that have a display and tell me how much runtime I have left, I tend to not charge them as much as I would my other tools that just go off of a light system. So I really do like the display, and the runtime is good. Not 4 hours, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Now, because it is a trimmer and you don't use them as much during the cut, you could argue that 3 hours is more than enough, and we'll give it that perfect score, 5 out of 5. If that's what you want to say, then we'll give it the perfect score. But I'm going based off of what I said in the previous video. In the previous video, I said if it has at least 4 hours or more, then it gets a perfect score. Since this is only 3 hours, I'm going to give it the next best score, which is a 4 out of 5. Next, we're going to talk about the ergonomics, okay? So this trimmer is slightly smaller than the Anda Slimline. So for those of you who are familiar with that, it's a pretty small trimmer, and this is smaller than that. And it's got the thumb groove right here in the front, so it's got a nice place for you to put your thumb when you're trimming somebody like this. It also has these little finger grooves right here that feel very comfortable in the hand when you hold it this way. It's a very, very light tool, so I would give this a perfect score when it comes to ergonomics. All right, now we're going to talk about the performance of these trimmers. Do these things work, and do they work well? Yes, these trimmers are pretty good. They might not be the strongest trimmers out there, but they're very versatile. You might not be able to bald everyone out with them. I had a Hispanic client earlier today that I couldn't bald out with these, but with that same client, I could still line up and give pretty nice sharp lines. So with the standard tooth blade, I can easily do trimmer over comb and blend up that way with this little thing. With the deep tooth blade that I have 0 gapped, I can put out some really sharp lines with this thing. It can't mow through a bunch of hair, but it's good in what it can do. And what it can do is it can line people up, and it can bald out, the average client's hair. Not the super thick ones, but the average person's hair. And with my deep tooth blade, since I have it zero gapped, I've noticed that if I use my standard tooth to bald someone out, and then I use the shavers to get it down to the skin, the deep tooth blade zero gapped transitions from smooth, that shaved section, to the trimmer line. And for those of you who struggle getting that line out, zero gapping the deep tooth blade, it'll get that line out very, very easily. Like this thing, I just literally am in each section for a couple seconds and that line just comes right out, and it goes right into the standard tooth that's not zero gapped. It goes straight into that section as well, and it just transitions smoothly. So it's very good at that. It's very good at lining up, and for the average client, it's very good at balding out, not for super thick hair. So that's a con, and that's the reason why I'm gonna take a point off for that. Fresh out the box, if you're using this to bald somebody out or even line them up, it's very soft on the skin. Now, I personally wouldn't use it to line someone up if it's not zero gapped. I would have to zero gap it to line someone up, because out the box, they did not hit the way I wanted them to. They still left lines and it was decent, but I just had to zero gap it. And I don't usually zero gap all my tools. I don't zero gap anything, actually. The only reason I zero gap this is because of how easy the blade can come off. You know, you can take the blade off just by flicking it off and then put another one on. So I bought a second blade, and I have one that's zero gapped and one that's not. And that's the thing that's amazing with these things, because if you're limited on space, and let's say you want a hitter and a soft one, you can have one trimmer and two blades. So you don't have to have two trimmers taking up space on your station. You don't have to have two trimmers in your mobile bag when you're going to do house cuts. You can just have this one trimmer and two blades, and it'll get the job done. Now, if you have somebody with extremely thick hair and you know that you're gonna go do a house cut, then I would definitely recommend that you pack a more powerful trimmer. So my ranking for the performance is gonna be a 4 out of 5. So now we're gonna talk about the build quality. Now, in the last video, you heard me go on a rant where I was talking about how I don't like plastic tools. I prefer my tools to be metal. And the same thing applies here. That's all personal preference. You know, some of you are gonna feel different about it. Some of you aren't gonna care if it's metal or plastic. Some of you just want something that is built well. And I can honestly say that this trimmer is built pretty good. Now, when I flip the switch to turn it on, you don't hear any clicks or anything like that that make it sound cheap. It doesn't give you the cheap impression that you would get off of some tools where you can hear when you push the button, it sounds too clicky, or like the lever on some clippers, it has too much of a plasticky click. Honestly, these, you don't really get that impression. Yeah, it's made out of plastic. It's not a big deal. The trimmer is designed good, and it's very ergonomic, and it feels sturdy. It feels like it's not gonna break on me. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 because it's not metal. If it was metal, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. Now we're gonna talk about the value of the trimmers. So in the box of the 2-speed trimmer, you get a charging stand, which I have right here. The charging stand takes a USB-C. You get 2 charging cables, one that's USB-A to USB-C, another one that's USB-A to the traditional Supreme trimmer charger. You get a bottle of oil, you get a carrying bag, and you get a cleaning brush. So on top of the trimmer, you get a charging stand, 2 cables, oil, a travel bag, and a cleaning brush. You also get a USB adapter. So that part that you plug into the wall, you get one of those. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick everything that you get in here. All right. And here's that little travel bag for it. It's got one of those like strings that you pull to tighten it, and you can even lock it. So it's really cool that they give you that. You know, not a lot of brands give you a bag to be able to safely carry your tool around securely, and I do like that they give you this. It's very considerate. You know, not a lot of people give you anything at all. Like in your boxes, you just get your tool and the charging cable, and maybe you'll get a USB adapter, maybe you'll get a charging dock. So the fact that they went the extra mile and they added this and they added an extra cable, it just shows that Supreme Trimmer really cares about, you know, customer satisfaction, and that they want to give you the most bang for your buck. So the trimmer comes in at $94.99. That's like right on par with the Anda Slimline. I think the Anda Slimline, I saw it at Cosmo Prof yesterday for $93. So $94.99 for an extra $2. You get a bag, you get 2 cables, you get a charging dock, you get a USB adapter. I think for $94.99, it's a really good trimmer. And then if you spend an extra $24.99 to get a spare blade, then you can have a trimmer with 2 blades that you can swap back and forth between. I think for that price, it's fair. It's definitely worth it in my opinion. And if you're on a budget, I would take this price into consideration and everything that you get in the box. So because of that, I'm gonna give the value a ranking of a perfect score, 5 out of 5. All right, so now we're in the new category, the packaging, okay? How would I rank the packaging? Well, when I take packaging into consideration, I'm gonna think about how neat does it look on the inside? How organized is it? And one thing I can say about Supreme Trimmer is that they keep things real nice and organized, so you can have the smallest box that you can to carry the most amount of stuff inside. So I really liked about the unboxing of the trimmers, and this goes for literally everything that I've gotten from them. The Dark Star, the 2-speed clipper, the recharge trimmer, is that they put their product on display real nicely inside the box. It's got a plastic cover to keep it, you know, safe, and then you have a box right here. And this box is usually in whatever trimmer or clipper that you're getting from Supreme Trimmer. This box will contain, you know, all the extras. It'll contain your guards, it'll contain your charging cables, you know, everything that comes extra with the tool itself will be in this box. And it's nice because they keep it real organized, and they make it look really nice for you when you open it up and you have your tool on display, and then you have to the right your box of extras. And I really like it. So some people like Stylecraft, for example. You do get a lot of value for what you pay. They give you everything that you need. Maybe not quite as much as what Supreme Trimmer does, because they give you a USB adapter and a second charging cable. But they give you everything that you really need. And the thing about their packaging that sucks is it's that annoying plastic piece that the tool sits in. You gotta take that out to be able to get to all the extras underneath. And then, like, let's say you don't use everything and you want to put stuff back in the box and you want to put that cover back on it, that plastic piece. Well, now you gotta make sure everything's sitting right in there to be able to get that plastic piece down. And that's just really annoying and frustrating. So I really like how they separate it this way. You know, you still got the trimmer on one side, and then you got all the extras on the other side. And that's how it's been for everything that I bought with them. When you're trying to put stuff back in, it's so easy to put all the extra stuff that you don't need back in the box. Now, I haven't put anything back in, but considering that everything literally stays in this box, and then the trimmer goes over here, there's no reason for you to struggle to put stuff back in there. So when it comes to packaging, I'm gonna give the 2-speed trimmer and literally every other Supreme trimmer product a perfect score, a 5 out of 5, until they start to do something different. If they start doing something different, then I'll have to regrade it. But this, 5 out of 5 packaging. So what's my final verdict on the 2-speed trimmer? Well, for the battery life, it had 3 hours. I gave it a 4 out of 5. The ergonomics, I stated it was very comfortable. It had the thumb groove and the finger grooves in the back. The curve is nice to the trimmer. The blade has got nice exposure, so that makes it easy to line people up without having much of the body in the way. I gave the ergonomics a perfect score, a 5 out of 5. Performance, based off the size and the type of motor that you expect to find in it, something not super strong, this thing is stronger than expected, but not as strong as like a Sabre or the Tomb 45s or the Instincts, you know, those big name trimmers, that maybe the FX ones or just anything FX might not be as strong as those, but the performance still good. I give it a 4 out of 5. Build quality, honestly, it was a very solid trimmer. It feels good. I just wish it was metal, and that's a personal preference. You know, not everyone's gonna want that metal feeling. Some people prefer the plastic because it's more lightweight, and metal adds some weight to it. But this is my ranking, so I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Value, for 95 bucks, you get a lot. You get the trimmer, the charging dock, the 2 cables, the bottle of oil, the carrying bag, and the USB-A adapter. And what else did you get? A cleaning brush. You get a cleaning brush. So for 95 bucks, that's a crazy good deal. You get a bunch of great stuff for 95 bucks compared to spending, you know, 150, 200, 260. So Supreme Trimmer is really being considerate of the amount of money that we spend on them, and they don't want us to overpay. And that's something that everyone should be willing to appreciate. You know, we should appreciate businesses who care more about the customer and not ripping us off and stealing from us. The value is the whole reason why I wanted to get into making this series. It's nothing biased. You know, I'm not being paid by Supreme Trimmer. I mean, look at my subscriber count. I don't have that many people, so like, who am I to them? I'm doing this because I want to be able to help other people, and people who might not want to spend so much money on their tools, but they want something good, something that's reliable. Supreme Trimmer is that brand that's gonna look out for you. So like I said, perfect score, 5 out of 5 for the value. And then the final department or category was the packaging. And the packaging is very simple and very neat, and it's very, what's the word? They're showing off their product in the box, and they want to give a good impression. So like, you get a nice box, and then when you open it up, it's just like your trimmer is right there, packaging is all nice and neat. You know, that good impression doesn't go away. So perfect score, 5 out of 5. Now the total ranking that we have is 27 out of 30. 30 is the perfect score, so it's off by 3 points. And those 3 points that are missing come from the battery life, because it doesn't have 4 hours or more. The other missing point is the performance, because I can't bald out every single client with them. I have to have a backup trimmer for certain clients, and that took a point away. The build quality, also another preference thing. I just want metal, and I'll give it a perfect score. Other than that, everything else is fantastic. Should you buy it? I think you should. And I think that you should be supporting a brand like Supreme Trimmer, who is looking out for the barber more than anything else. And they take our feedback and they improve upon it. Like, everything that they make, the more we tell them the things that we love and don't love about it, the more the future shipments are going to end up being more like how we want it to be. So for example, when I was talking to the CEO of Supreme Trimmer, he did tell me that in the successor for the 2-speed trimmer, they're going to put more power in it. Now, I don't know if it's going to carry the same name, or they're going to rename it, or if it's just going to be like another shipment under the same name. But they said that they're going to put more power in it. And when that comes out, I would love to get my hands on it, because I like this trimmer. I like it a lot, and I want it to be able to bald out everybody. And the balding everybody out is literally the only point that I took away that actually matters. The other 2 points, I mean, they don't really matter. The battery life is perfect. And the build quality, the material, that's a preference thing. But the fact that it can't bald everyone out is the only point I took away that truly matters. So with that said, you could say it's a 29 out of 30. But since this is my ranking video, and I'm going to base it off of what I like and don't like, 27 out of 30. But that's my go-to trimmer, and I think is definitely worth the buy if you're a beginner barber. It's very affordable. So don't be fooled by these prices. Just because it's $95 and it's not $180, $200 plus like some of these other brands does not mean that it's not good. No, it's a great trimmer, and it does its job amazingly well. I'd buy it again, and I highly encourage anybody, beginner, veteran, I encourage you to buy this trimmer. It's a great trimmer. I know you'll like it. You know, if you don't like it, let me know in the comments. But with that said, you know, I'm gonna wrap up this video, and I'm gonna give you guys a couple clips of me using it, so you can see how it performs. With that said, you know, if you could leave me a like, comment, just to boost the algorithm a little bit. I'm gonna try to make more of these videos, and I want to know what you want me to review next. So I'm gonna continue going over Supreme Trimmer, and honestly, I think I'm probably gonna buy everything that they have and talk about it. Hit the bell icon to stay up to date on more videos that I post. I'm trying to post once a week for now. Maybe with the channel, you know, gets going, I'll post more often. But since these are reviews on the products, I have to spend time with them. I can't just get it one day and then make a video the next day. I have to use it. I have to be able to give it like a good opinion. And I've been using these trimmers for a few weeks now. But like after today, for the next week at least, I'm gonna focus on just the recharge trimmer. So I've been using it, and I love it, and I got a lot of things to say about it. But for the next week, I'm gonna just use the recharge trimmer, because I want to use those clips and talk about it, and like just I want to get as much information as I can before I post the next video. So once a week, you know, check me out and see what's new. Leave a like, comment what you like about the trimmer, what you don't like about the trimmer, what you think about the video, my video structure. You know, just let me know what you think, and I'm open to everything. So until then, you know, have a blessed week. Peace out.